It was fun.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Well,
yeah, aside from,
since
we did
have,
kind of.
Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna say we kind of rolled right into special teams being important. I guess the final topic, if we wanted to talk about it, was what do we expect from special teams this year with Bill Bush leading the way, and with some of these, punter and place kicker, Brian Buscemi and Timmy Bleakroad, and with Trey Palmer taking punts and kicks back. Like, do we see even like a 5% step forward in the right direction with our special teams? And does that actually equate in wins, even with our defense maybe taking like half a step back?
In short, yes. Because I've seen what Bill Bush can do with special teams. I've seen the level of detail that he brings to the table in special teams. Because if there's one thing we can say about the Callahan era, that is the fact that Bill Bush was the guy that was running special teams, and it wasn't dog crap like it's been for the last, 7 years, 8 years, other than like one kick return for a touchdown by J.D. Spielman and a punt return for a touchdown by, J.D. Spielman in 2018. Other than that, what can we really say about our special teams that's been special? Nothing. Quite frankly.
Special in the sense that like maybe you need like one of those fancy little like little cardboard things that you hang underneath your mirror.
Extremely special.
You get good parking spaces that way.
Yeah. There's really been nothing special. I think the thing that stuck out to me with some of the interviews I saw on YouTube with Derek Fisher and Mickey Joseph is both of those guys want their guys competing to get out on the field to play special teams. And I know you mentioned that in your last podcast, Honke, about how somehow, some way, special teams needs to be something that is elevated to the level of getting a black shirt, right?
Exclusive.
Something to make it exclusive. Yeah, like that. It was the black shirt tradition that started back in the 60s. It just kind of came out of nothing, right? But all of a sudden, wearing this black shirt that they gave you made you part of a club, and it made it a big deal. And I was actually talking with Mac, and he was kind of threw out it should be a purple shirt or something. There's something should be a special teams thing that designates this as it being exclusive, an exclusive club, and to make it really that big of a deal. Urban Meyer made it a big deal at all the stops he'd have, and their special teams play looked like it, and it would be a difference maker in games.
Did they have special jerseys?
I don't know if they had special jerseys. I don't know but just it's more of it's the mentality, right? Like I was like, it could be a jersey, it could be the turnover chain, whatever. You do something that makes it unique, but like you want to almost make it like a club. Like I get to be in special teams. How lucky am I? How fortunate am I that I get to play on it? Not this is something that's thrown on it with me. And having sometimes I think with coaching, when you make it a analyst role like 2 years ago, or when you have it as a second role to your position spot, like they did with DeWitt and even with Dawson last year, when you have a guy that's all he does, as long as he's not Bruce Reed and golfing all the time, it actually I think can work out. And I'm ecstatic to see what Bush does when this is his main focus. I mean, man, he's going to get equal time at the every meeting, and if he wants players, if he thinks this guy can be the guy, he's going to move that guy over, and he's going to play it. So at the very least, I'll say there's no excuses if our special teams aren't marketably better across the board here.
Some of it's just high expectations for the special teams.
I have higher expectations than what we had last year. I said last year when they had the open practice that people could go to. I went to that and I was like, they put more of an emphasis on special teams than they did the 2 years I went to a practice during a coaching clinic. That's still true, but the results didn't look great. Now, Frost said at the end of the season that it was a specialist issue, and I'm like, well, some of it might have been. Some of it. I mean, but you're getting a punt block against Iowa when you have the shield wrong, and Iowa takes advantage of that. That's not just a specialist issue anymore. we need special. I mean, my goodness, you get the punter goes out against Michigan State and kicks a 12-yard punt, and the next week against Northwestern, he kicks an 84-yard punt. The same guy. Like, that doesn't make sense. We have a field goal kicker who's the all Big Ten kicker one year, and the next year you can't count on him to make extra points in game one. That doesn't make any sense. Of all things, I walked out of spring last year, and I was like, I felt decent about a few things, and I was like, we don't have a kickoff guy. We just don't. And I said that on our show. I was like, we don't have a kickoff guy. Coaching staff saw the same thing I see. I mean, they're smarter than I am. And about a month later, they bring in Frank, the kid, the transfer from, I think it was like Morningside. And we don't have a kickoff issue for the most part last year, except for one time against Wisconsin. And when we don't kick it into the end zone, of course it gets returned.
Yeah, right.
Because why wouldn't? Why wouldn't we be down 7-0 10 seconds into the game? So,
well, maybe they could put some corn stickers on their helmets, like the Buckeye stickers.
Dude, that's a great idea. See, I'm not creative like this. I'm just
that
like,
would look pretty sick.
Throw a purple jersey on him, but give them something cool.
I can live with the corn stickers.
Oh
no
my
doubt
God.
about it.
You guys are not supporting stickers on the helmets, are you?
Only if it's corn.
I'm supporting anything that makes those guys tackle somebody in space on special teams. That's what I'm supporting.
Dare I say, God, I hope I don't. I hope I'm not knocking on wood here, but can it get worse? I mean, that's
for sure, 100%.
Of course it can. We could give up 3 kickoffs for a touchdown.
Right. You're right.
That's the problem with the whole thing is it feels like we've said that for the last 4 or 5 years. Like it can't get worse. It's going to get better.
Sure. Yeah.
It's continued to get worse.
I don't,
with the exception of maybe 2020.
To your question there, Justin, I don't have high expectations. I just have higher expectations. And I know that Bush has high expectations. And at least the staff, I'll give them this. They're all speaking the same language. I mean, my goodness, Fisher sounds like he could be the special teams coach, and Joseph sounds like he could be the special teams coach. They're all saying the same thing.
Is Donovan Raiola speaking the same language?
He might be. I don't know. There were linemen that used to do some special team stuff. Brian Pruitt back in the 90s used to run down on.
Hell, our offensive line coach used to be our special teams coach back in the 90s.
Yeah, Dan Young was the kickers coach.
Dan Young was the special teams coordinator.
Back in the day when you had
that was when we had 2 offensive line coaches.
Yeah.
So
and here's the thing. I don't need the best special teams in the country. Just give me serviceable special teams that can not lose us games.
Let's be middle of the pack, please.
I mean, I'm not pushing back. I want to be the best at every one of those things. When Frost got here,
that's fine in time.
Well,
that's fine in
Frost
time.
Got here,
I'm just saying this year.
When Frost got here, even year one, I mean, there was this feeling that on defense, I remember him saying something along the lines of, we just need to be good enough to get the ball back to the offense. So, which could mean be great at defense or just get a turnover, but just get the ball back to this explosive offense. We're going to score 56 points. Just be serviceable defense. And it's like, man, we're the black shirts. I mean, be the best damn. Why can't you be the best damn special teams unit out there? The 96 Huskers, in the middle of a dynasty, are not beating K-State unless they make field goals and block punts. They're not going to win that game. Or if they win it, they're going to win it 3-0 because their defense has to shut the team out. Bush is going to demand that special teams be as good as what Frost will demand the offense to be and what Chenander demands the defense. At least that is something. I mean, 2 years ago when you're being led by an analyst, it just doesn't even make sense. I mean, if you were a special teams guy, it would feel like you were absolutely –
the worst part about it is that analyst had the best special teams we've had over the last 4 years.
Well, man, didn't think about Colt making field goals makes you look good, right? And then I can't for the life of me, I can't explain why a kicker goes from what he was to
because he didn't kick in front of people last year. Last year he kicked in front of people. He didn't kick in front of people in 2020. He was the best kicker in the Big Ten because he didn't kick in front of anybody. There was no pressure. None.
I mean, he kicked in front of people.
Nobody was waving at him
at one point. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's definitely a difference there.
Yep. So, you know what, guys?
That changed. I mean,
absolutely. You know what? This has been a lot of fun. Honke, we really appreciate you guys. Not you guys, but you coming on. Redcast Rob, if you happen to be watching, which I know you're not because there's 0 people watching right now, but if you watch this later, just know that we missed you, but we also hate you at the same time because we really wanted the Kool-aid here tonight. but Honke